we are live. Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Phantom Racing League YouTube channel for the second race of the round of 8 right here at Michigan International Speedway. How is everybody doing tonight? Ready for some playoff action for our second race in the round of 8. Hey, stop. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. My two producers of the network, I've decided to spectate the live broadcast booth tonight, so there'll be a couple of possible interruptions throughout the broadcast, which I hope doesn't become too much of an inconvenience, and I apologize so if it is. If my two producers would like to get a word in for the fellow viewers at home, don't claw the mic. Yeah. This is Nala. She's producer number 1. She puts a lot of effort into the production side of things. And then we got Neville. He's the head writer. So they're the ones that pull the strings here on the Phantom Racing League YouTube channel. I'm just the front of it all. I'm just the voice. These guys are the real heads of the show. Stop clawing each other. Hey, stop. Stop. Let me kick him out. So anyway, we're almost ready to get going. Qualifying has wrapped up, and we will get the starting lineup to you here shortly. We do have a couple of new drivers in the field tonight, making their season debut. Some of the other part-time non-playoff contenders are back in the field as well, looking to put on a show as they usually do, as they have continued to overshadow our playoff contenders who are still in the fight for the championship. No spots have been locked in. All of the spots are still up for grabs. So there's still a chance for a playoff driver to get back to the winner's circle and have a shot at the championship in Homestead. So let's get to the starting lineup, as I will wait for it to be presented here. I want to thank everyone that's been tuning into these broadcasts every single week, giving us a thumbs up. Make sure to do that for this one as well, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So, starting lineup here. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. And starting on the pole for the first time this season is the Ghost in the number 96 Toyota at a 38.326. And on his outside is Elvin Priest, the regular season champ, will be in the outside of the front row in that number 51 Chevrolet. Row 2 will have the 88 car of JoJo C.Y. Later. And on his outside, old Johnny Boy in that number 16. He has changed car numbers here. Normally, driver of the number 22 Penske Ford, he has made the switch to Chevrolet, and he will be in the number 16 car for Colleague. Row 3 will have Showtime Flash 9 in the number 38. Outside of him, making his Phantom Racing League debut, Blakey T. He's in the number 19 car for Joe Gibbs Racing. Row 4, Black Cross in the number 24 Chevrolet. Outside of him, another driver making his debut, I Shoot. In his first start in Phantom, he will be in the 00 Starcom Chevrolet. Row 5, 19mm for you in the number 12 Ford. Outside of him will be MFF Nomad in the number 8. And then you got MFF Ed, though, in car number 1, starting in 11th place. So sit tight, folks. I'll give these guys the green light to get going. have the invite on hand, and we will get ready to go racing here. Alright, we are back with just a little bit of a delay, but once that clock gets close to 0, we will be heading in to the lobby to spectate. I do got some information on the last 2 drivers in the starting lineup. Didn't post times in qualifying, but made it in time for the race. We'll be starting from the back. One of those being one of our regulars, Parley, in the number 42 Credit One Bank Chevrolet. Didn't put a time up in qualifying. He will start from the rear, as well as another playoff driver, MFF Hamlin Nation, in the number 18 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. So that'll be our field of 13 cars tonight. So we should be ready to get going here. It's still paused, so hopefully this doesn't spawn in a lag storm to hover above the racetrack. Because so far qualifying, the weather looked pretty clear. We'll have to check the forecast, but we should be good to go. And speaking of good to go, we're ready to load in. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for some Phantom Racing League action at Michigan International Speedway? I am looking forward to this. So everyone will be fighting for a spot in the championship but we still got one more race left to decide who will be for the championship, and that'll be at Phoenix next week, so make sure to tune in for that. Same time as per usual, around 9 o'clock, 9:05 Eastern Time. It's race day here at Michigan. The Phantom Racing League is underway. The Ghost starting from pole. Elvin on the outside. The green flag is waving here at Michigan. JoJo and Johnny on row 2. Flash in that number 38 Ford Mustang. Starting from the top 5 up to 4, trying to get 3rd from the 88 of JoJo. Few cars getting hung out on the outside. Leader of that pack is the 16 of Johnny Boy. Everyone's trying to find a place in line. And the Ghost will lead lap number 1. Elvin all over his back bumper. Might be looking to make a pass for the lead into 1. 96 is going to protect the spot as much as he can. He was able to do it that time. Now the outside's starting to surge. Now the outside at Michigan here is definitely a usable option. When you got enough cars, you can definitely make some moves on the outside, even use it as a defensive line. As the 16 of Johnny is doing just that, so the 88 of JoJo do the same thing. And my producers are trying to tear up the studio. Please stop. Thank you. Battle for the lead. Elvin to the inside of the 96 of the Ghost. He's got company behind him, the 88 of JoJo and the 38 of Showtime Flash. As we got a side-by-side battle for 5th. Should expect a lot of comers and goers in this race with how close the racing is going to be here. And with these old cars, We are running normal draft, so this is about the equivalent of running low draft with the next gens. These cars don't push, they don't poke as much of a hole into the air as the next gens do. But at a track like Michigan, that don't matter. The draft is very essential. Elvin Priest, your leader, Jojo Siwa and the Ghost running second and third. As he's drifting up from the bottom of the track, entering turn 3. Keeps it under control, didn't let it scoot up way too high. Black Cross in the 24, left outside. 38's going to pick him up. And a couple of cars else up there as well. Flash in 4th, and that number 38 car, let's get to him. He's got Nomad, that 8 car who started somewhere around the top 10, maybe outside of it. He might be the biggest mover of the race so far as he has cracked the top 5 in that number 8 RCR Chevrolet, and he's looking to get more for 4th place. 38 washes up the track. And they're going to be 3 wide off turn 4 with the 00. Getting through the 24 and the 38. It's going to drop to the back here. Now, I'm not sure how long these stages are going to be. Might be some fuel strategy coming into mind. Showtime Flash, very notorious for that. Now, when we ran the Mach 1 Mac race here at Michigan with the next gen, it was pretty much the name of the game with fuel saving, because those cars are terrible on fuel mileage. I don't think we're going to expect that with these cars. I think the racing should be a lot more intense than if we were running the next gens. Otherwise, it would just be a single file line all the way around. The pit stops. So we got Elvin still out front. Nomad up into 2nd place. Let's get to the 8 car outside of car number 88. Now Nomad is hungry for a good run. He had a very strong opening to the first round of the playoffs. He's kind of stalled out as of recently, but he's kept his nose clean. That's been good enough so far, but he wants more than that. He wants to get to victory lane. Maybe surprise a few people here. And he is using all of the racetrack, even dipping 2 tires into the grass. Looking every single inch of racetrack he could possibly use to get around the 51 of Elvin. As he swings to the outside, and that, unfortunately for him, opens the door for all the cars on the inside, of course. Being the 88 and the 96, we're still running nose to tail, but Elvin's given the 8 car the draft, trying to keep these two side by side as much as he can, so he can protect his advantage out in front. Might be trying to get back to the bottom. That hole just closed up really fast. And one thing he could try to do, and I think he tried to do it there, was try to separate that gap between those 2 cars by a little bit of side draft, which has some effect, but usually not as much as you would like. Usually it's not really something a lot of drivers really tend to go for. You have to get pretty aggressive to try to side draft with these cars, because it's so easy to make contact with one another. Parley in the 42, unsponsored Chevrolet. Started from the back. He has marched his way forward, looking to crack the top 5. Elvin washes up way high as he drops from the race lead all the way to the back. He's going to lose a ton of spots. And that gives the lead to the 88 car of Jojo Siwa later, with the Ghost in 2nd. Nomad washed up there for 3rd. And that's going to check up this whole line, as they're still side by side. That's exactly what these two are probably looking for. Now let's see what the Ghost can do. He's going to try to set him up, perhaps. Parley's now up to 3rd. Black Cross in 4th. So we're still running nose to tail. Oh, trouble off 4, Black Cross, hard into the outside wall. He gathers it back up and loses a ton of time. He's going to try to hitch onto the number 19 Toyota, hang on to the draft. That number 19 car is Blakey T, one of the newcomers in Phantom. Kind of keeping it chill at the moment, running at the back. Right now, issue-free race for the 19 car. And yeah, I'll make sure to do community posts, because I legit almost forgot to, don't worry. And the top 5 positions swap around again. This front pack's looking to separate themselves from the cars behind them. Blakey Team, the 19 car, hanging on by a thread. He's trying to hang on as much as he possibly can here. Johnny on the outside with the 12 car of 1-9. Let's get to another one of our newcomers, and that is the 00 car of iShoot, driving for Starcom. He is cracking the top 5. That seems to have some pretty good pace within this pack. He's been able to hang on to the draft, hold his line pretty nicely. And I think I've seen this guy, I'm not too familiar with him, but I think I've seen him run the FTR Pro-Am races, or the ones that I've tuned in for, and I think he won a couple of them. So he's definitely a driver on the rise, and this is him. This is chucking him into the deep end, racing with the big boys. This ain't no Pro-Am, this is pretty much an all-pro series. As iShoot makes his first live pit stop in this league, and he brings in league boss Elvin behind him. 18 to Hamlin Nation comes in as well. They will be the first takers to come in. Now these guys should be cutting it close on fuel. Now, how many of the drivers in that pack were in full save mode, trying to stretch it as far as they possibly can? So again, I brought up the fuel thing as a concern, just based off my experience of racing the next-gen cars here in a 50%er. Yeah, it looks like almost most of the cars in that pack, 2 of them stay out, and I think that was the 38 and the 88. And that is the majority of this pack, coming in all together. The Ghost leading this entire group on a pit road. Now this group's coming out. These are the guys that pitted early, including the 00 car of iShoot. Now we'll see when this cycles out. We'll see where the 00 ends out. Pitting early might give him an advantage among the rest of the pack. We'll see where he comes out. Now let's get to 88 of Jojo Siwa. Him and the 38 are going to come in together for their service. Now we look to the rest of the pack. 2 by 2 out of the pits. They're coming out of a formation lap at full speed. Now Parley's trying to leapfrog ahead of the 19. Now they're 3 wide. Tokyo drifting out of the pits and straighten it out. Look at the straightaway drift 19mm doing. That is some impressive stuff. Stuff that you'll only see here on NASCAR Heat 5 in the Phantom Racing League, where we're drifting on the straightaways. Now that can't be good on his tires. And this might be according to plan. iShoot in the lead, passing the 38. And look at the advantage he gets. iShoot to the front. Big advantage for the rookie ahead of Elvin, who will come out of this second. Flash is not up to speed yet. He's going to be 3 wide into turn 3 with Johnny in the middle with a big push from Black Cross. Parley to the outside. Blakey T in the 19 tagging along. Johnny's going to lead Black Cross through the middle. As Flash is trying to find his place in line as now he gets his car up to speed and he's going to get his tires warmed up. And he will have the biggest advantage out of everyone in this pack. Him and the 88. Now can Johnny Boy run down the 51 of Elvin and the 00 of iShoot? Johnny has 1 lap tire advantage over those 2 cars in front. Oh, Jojo, his car's looking a little bit out of shape entering turn 3 as he drifts up the track. Loses a couple of spots, he finds his place in line. Might be saving his stuff a little bit, but he's got more cars to try to get around. 19 of Blakey T's going to drift up the racetrack. And that spot is right for the taking for Jojo. He tried to catch it there off 2, he might have got loose. As he hangs onto the spot. Johnny's already caught Elvin, but now he's starting to wash up from the bottom of the track. You see that? He's leaving a whole car width from that white line. Well, typically at this track, in a line like this, you want to be protecting that bottom lane. You pretty much want those tires, not necessarily on them, but as close as them as you possibly can. Interesting, it's yellow on this side of the track and it's white on the other. I think that's just for pit exit enforcement. Now let's get to Flash. 1 lap fresher tires than Black Cross and Johnny, 2 fresher than Elvin. This is for 3rd place. Flash is going to bring Parley in the 42 car with him, right in his tire tracks. Flash is going to give Elvin a mighty push down the front stretch. And another one in the middle of the turn. That's an interesting camera cut. Now we should be... I need to see what lap we're on. These guys should be good on fuel, at least most of them. Elvin and iShoot are going to be cutting it really close, I feel like. So 51 and the 00 are going to be ones to look out for. And they've had no draft assistance up front. They've been pretty much going much harder on the throttle than the rest of these guys had. They had the luxury of being in the draft, so they could save fuel if needed. But if you're Flash and any of these guys that pitted later, fuel shouldn't be a concern. But Flash is going to use the advantage that his tires have. He's separating himself from this pack. Blakey T now up into 4th place ahead of Black Cross in the 24. iShoot still in front. Elvin's going to force the 38 to go to the outside, but he still gets in line from the 00 who moves up. Elvin stays down low. Here comes the 19 car. Oh shoot, iShoot misses the bottom of the track. And that opens the door for Elvin. 3 wide down the back straightaway. They make contact. They're 3 wide again as Blakey's going to take the outside run and put the 19 car up into 2nd place. Showtime Flash put him out in front. That 38 Ford is now the leader. Everyone else still jockeying for position. Blakey T to the outside, trying to make a bold move for the lead. He's staying even with the 38, but the 38's gonna move up the track off exit and protect the spot. We'll stay out in front. Let's check in with the 00 of iShoot there. He was up in front during that sequence, but his tires are starting to give out. And looks like they're starting to get separated from the top 3. Blakey T and the 19 going to the front. Let's get to that now. For the lead inside the 19 car, Showtime Flash hung out to dry on the outside. Gonna try to surge back on the outside, and Elvin's gonna tag along. Now the 19 is going to be the lone soldier on the bottom. Elvin's going to take the switchback. Going back to the inside through 3 and 4. As we're getting close to the end of stage number 1. Man, look at this run from Parley for 3rd place inside of turn 1. And without hesitation takes the spot away. Parley thinks he's got a pretty fast race car. He's going to make the push on Blakey T, who is protecting the bottom. Look at that block. Down into 3. The 38 still hung out on the outside with absolutely no help from his peers. Everyone else lined up on the bottom. Blakey T, he moves up, but the 42 stays low off exit. Stays to the apron. The 19's going to block the 38. They're side by side down the front stretch and crossing the line. This stage is still not over. Parley looking to go for the lead and possibly for the stage win, as we have 3 to go. Oh, big hiccup. Big hiccup from the 19 into the 38 and the 51. Oh, and it puts him in the middle of a 3 wide with the 24. And him and the 38 hit each other again. Due to unfortunate circumstances, the 19 car had a bit of a lag hiccup down the backstretch. It seems to have smoothed out. The issue doesn't seem to be pursuing any further, but we will keep an eye on that. Now, if the lag keeps up, he will have to drop to the back. Blocking the 42, who's got a big run down the back straightaway. Forced to go high into 3. 19 stays low. Battle for 3rd. The 12 and the 88 both wash up, and the 24 is going to pounce. Jojo all the way up against the outside barrier. 42 to the outside. The 19 is going to continue to block him. And this should be it. One more lap to go. And what an impression this number 19 Toyota has been making in his first start in the Phantom Racing League. Going up against the pros. Parley crashes on the back straightaway. Tried to go for an aggressive maneuver to get around the 19 of Blakey T. And misses out on the potential of multiple points in the stage. And the stage comes to a close. Welcome to the Phantom Racing League, Blakey T. First impressions? This guy's fast. Stage 1 win in just his first start. We'll have to look at the rest of the stage results. I don't have them up on the screen. There we go. It was unfortunate, though, that the 51 and the 38 seem to have been the victims of the lag spike that happened on the backstretch, and it was the only one that really happened. So I guess that was a no call on the 19 to move out of the way. He will stay as the leader for this restart. Stage 2 underway. Blakey T leads into green. Black Cross on his outside. Showtime Flash and Johnny Boy row 2. 19mm and JoJo CY later row 3. As the pack is realigned. Group back up. Now we'll see who will get up to the front this time around. Showtime Flash, he's going to try not to let this one slip away. Got really close to get to the stage win that time. 19 of Blakey T is going to swing to the outside. I think maybe Race Control gave him the call that time to drop to the back. That is an interesting call. So Showtime Flash 9 back in front here at Michigan. 19mm now up into second place, had a really good restart. Parley and Blackcross side by side for third. Elvin Priest also lined up there on the bottom. That 16 car, Johnny Boys really liked running that outside groove. He's up there with the 24 Exalta Chevrolet. Now it's up to Flash, being the leader of this group, to try to keep these two side by side. Not either one of these lanes get an advantage. But the 12's got a big run. And he's got a whole lot of help behind him. Blackcross holding his own on the outside. Keeping it dead even. And actually got a big momentum surge with Johnny Boy on the outside. See, he's going to drop back down. This is where Flash is going to take control of both of these lines. Make sure neither one of them has an opportunity to pounce. It's like being a lion tamer. One slip up and one of these cars is going to bite his legs off. Oh, speaking of slip ups, 1-9. Hit from Elvin, the Ghost across the track and across multiple other cars. Big wreck on the back straightaway. I shoot Ed though. Nomad's going lawn mowing in 3. This car skates to a stop on the apron. Ed's involved. Who else is involved? The 19 car. And that is our first caution for incident tonight. So Showtime Flash loses the lead on pit road. The 24 HMS pit crew coming out on top on the pit stop, putting Blackcross in front for the restart. He will be the control car, leaving Flash on the outside. Then 19mm and Elvin in row 2. The green flag waves again as we get him refired and regroup for yet another go here at Michigan. That inside just fires off so much better. When these cars are getting up to speed, it helps to be down there, but cars on the outside, they're fast enough to make do with what they have, including the 38 of Flash, who's staying even with the 12 for second place. But now Blackcross is going to find himself in control. Let's get to him. Leader of this race stays to the outside. Going to pull the outside lane forward. But he's going to stay clear to protect the bottom from 19. He was getting some help from the 16, and that looks like the 18 car, Hamlin Nation, finding himself back in the mix. There's Flash in the 38 car, outside, Elvin behind him. As we continue to have lanes of 2. Racing side by side throughout. 38's gonna pounce, and he's gonna bring a whole trail of cars with him into 1. 24 is gonna have to go to the outside. There's a car washing up the track in turn 1. They're 3 wide further back. The 38 takes the lead. The 24 is gonna stay in his draft and try to cross him over. Huge run. Inside. Blackcross and Flash. Now Elvin and Parley are going to be side by side for third. Formation laps it fast forward. This is what this looks like. This is some close racing here at Michigan. The 18 car getting squirrely across the apron, hangs onto it, moves the 12 car up the middle. And they're 3 wide mid-pack, almost 4 wide. The 8 car Nomad washes up the racetrack. Right in front of the 16, gets passed by the 12. As the 24 and the 38 stay even. Elvin considering making a 3-wide pass for the lead. He teased it. Maybe trying to catch the 24 off guard. Or maybe he just wasn't too sure if he wanted to make the pass or not. 24 and the 51, that inside line had a much better run through 3 and 4 that time. Now can that outside regroup? There's quite a bit of casting support up on that outside lane. Some of these leaders are going to move up to the outside and pull that outside forward and keep them even. They're just running their line, running what's fastest for them. Helps to be out in clean air like this 24 car is currently. Bit of a checkup, as there's just so many cars in this group, and the runs are so huge that there's going to be a lot of checking up in the middle of this pack. So that's something to be aware of. As if you're one of these guys like I shoot in the 00 car, right in the middle. With all these cars in front of him, he's getting, well, maybe not as much of a run as some of these guys behind him. Here's the one car of Ed though. He's probably got, him and Nomad got the biggest hole of slipstream to go through. So they're the ones that are having to check up more than anybody else. It's just something to keep in mind. Elvin Priest going to the lead with the 18 car of Hamlin Nation. That Skittles car looking to taste the rainbow, going for second. On the car that used to be the Rainbow Warrior, we got a couple of cars scattering down low. That looked to be a massive checkup, as that caught off a couple of guys. But the pack remains intact. Not a single car left out. Everyone's all grouped together and staying grouped together. Now they get a little bit spread out there. That outside going way to the top. Parley closed in fast on the 18's rear bumper. Now this stage I think is about the same length as stage 1, so we should see one pit stop soon. This stage might actually be shorter. No, because we had the caution earlier. I'm stupid. Yeah, the caution threw a wrench in the strategy. So these guys will be pitting closer to the end of stage 2, which could play the strategy game a little bit. So that's something to keep in mind. 19mm Lone Soldier on the outside, that Advanced Auto Parts Ford. Not a whole lot of help up there. The 96 of the Ghost, our pole sitter, we haven't seen much of him since he was up front at the start of this race. He's been kind of staying down low. He's been kind of keeping himself off the radar. Trying to disguise himself running in the middle of this pack. Not making too much noise. Possibly saving his stuff for the very end. But he's got to be careful. They're getting 3 wide. And he's right on the bottom of it with 1-9 right in the middle. Him and Blakey T. Blakey T might give him some room as he's trying to get in front of him. That whole bottom lane's washing up the track, including the 96 of the Ghost, who's going to block the 12. As a result of that, here comes another big surge up at the front, this time by the 24, who had to check up that time, as the cars in front of him were on it that time. Elvin's your leader, Hamlin Nation. It started from the back of this pack. At the start, here he is in second, going for the lead on the outside. Realized nobody was really going with him, so he's staying in line for now. These top 4 cars have been staying in line for these last couple of laps. Trouble off 2. There's a car sideways. 19mm. How low can you go? As he tries to get it back onto the racing surface. He might still have the draft, as Nomad had a bit of a moment through turn 3. He'll have the 00's draft, and that should pull the 12 car along and keep him in the fight. Here comes Blakey T at the outside. If I could say it without having a stroke. 19 to Blakey T on the outside for third place. 18's trying to block the 42. 19 stays to the outside. The Ghost! Bit of a jump scare for whoever he hit. I think that was the 16. Him and the Ghost had a close call. Carly now scoots outside off 4. As Elvin remains in control of this race. 2 Gibbs cars, second and third. Black Cross in the Exalted Chevrolet. Parley stuck on the outside. Might be stuck there for a little while longer. Johnny Boy tried to poke his nose through the middle. Getting forced up high by the 38. They're 3 wide in the middle. 18 car and the 42, both of them in the eye of the storm. And I think we saw the 88 car of JoJo get into the wall on entry. Now we're getting really close to pit stops. We'll see what kind of strategy these guys are going to be going for. Now, will everyone try to pit this time? Is anyone going to try to stretch it another lap? Let's watch on from behind, see if anyone stays out on track. Elvin's going to come in, Black Cross. Hamlin Nation, I shoot, only half the pack pits that time by. Which means we got another half to go. Parley is now in charge of this group with the Ghost, Blakey T, Showtime Flash, Johnny Boy, and JoJo Siwa all staying out this time, which means we should be seeing them signaling as the 19 car is. And it's very difficult when you're pitting with the group, because you're trying not to hit the rear of the car in front of you. You're trying not to get rear-ended by the car behind you. So you're not sending it in there as fast as you would like, as if you were pitting alone, which you could gain an advantage that way. But of course, trying not to get a speeding penalty by making contact with another car. Another straightaway drift on pit road this time by the 42. So now this group's going to come out ahead. Black Cross and I Shoot come out. Elvin is already off turn 4. This might be a 2-tire stop. A gamble from the 51 Chevrolet for the Stage 2 win. Let's see if he can hang on to it. He's got a huge advantage. But that second group coming out now. He's going to cycle out with these guys. We'll see if he can get out ahead. These 2 cars, Johnny and Parley, still need to get up to speed. Elvin's already there. Move way. Elvin to the lead. But 42 and 16, they do not lose sight of the 51. These guys are going to be fighting it. Now, did anyone else maybe get an even bigger advantage? Those guys are off of turn 4. Hamlin Nation, Flash, Ed though in the 1 car. Almost into the grass trying to make a pass on the 38. There's Black Cross in the 24 with the 00 of I Shoot. Those guys possibly took 4 tires. Maybe got speeding penalties, I don't know. We'll have to check back in on that. Nomad into the wall hard. Parley's gonna leave Johnny out to dry. And this is for the lead in the closing laps of Stage 2. Yep, this is the top 3 right now. On strategy. I called it. These guys are going to be taking gambles. And these are the guys that have done it. And look at the advantage they have gained. Now, how much time does this other pack have? Can they run them down in time? I don't know. They're very far ahead. This might be the call. Whether it's 2 tires or fuel only, this was the call. and it seems to be working out. Elvin trying to protect the lead from Johnny Boy in that 16 car. Let me get on board with Parley, see how many laps we have left. Parley looks like he's trying to hang on to it. Johnny Boy inside, down the back straightaway. Elvin left the door open, inside. Surges up ahead. Elvin Priest drifts up the racetrack. And Parley left to pick up the scraps outside of the 42. Who's going to go for the lead down the front stretch. And I think we still got one more lap left. One more lap left, I think. Yeah. So this is the last lap of stage 2. Parley edging out ahead of Johnny Boy. He's going to block the bottom lane as much as he can. Elvin's going to swing down. Parley all the way to the white paint to block that run. Johnny stays high. That is pretty much where he had been running all day. My phone is ringing. Now is not the time. This is for the stage 2 win. I'll answer it in a minute. Parley to the line, and he wins stage 2. I'll be right back, guys. My apologies, folks. We are back. And we have a new leader, the 18 car at Hamlin Nation. Don't worry, I've been keeping an eye on what's been going on. This 18's pretty much been in control these last few laps. Blackcross still up there in the mix in second. Here comes Blakey T. Going for the lead. Big lunge on entry to 3. 18 scoots up the racetrack. And Blakey's going to take the lead off 4. Blackcross will stick with them. There's Johnny Boy in the 16. Elvin in the 51, also down low. Parley stays high. Blakey T tries to clear the 18. 24 misses the bottom of the track. And that moves that whole line up. Pretty much forced the 19 and the 18 to the marbles. Now he's on the outside of 3 wide. Parley in the middle of it, who scoots up the 18, trying to give room to the 16 at the same time, who's now up into 3rd. Elvin's going to sneak on by in 4th. And a tough break for the 18 of Hamlin Nation, just wrong place, wrong time, with whatever happened to the 24 of Blackcross, who is now in control of this race. Johnny Boy now up into 2nd. Blakey hung on the outside, but he's not alone. There's a couple other cars out there. I don't know why that camera does that. Johnny looking to the inside for the lead. He's got help from Blakey T. Can you hold the bottom this time by? Seems like every time he tries to set up a pass, he gets it in there way too deep. He does it again. And this time, Blakey T back to the lead in that number 19 Bass Pro Shops Toyota. Just was at the right place, just scooted on by. Now let's see if he can be able to stay in control this time. Blackcross, Johnny Boy Hamlin Nation back in the top 5, trying to make up lost time. So he's back in the podium places now if he can clear the 16 car on the outside. And he's got a pretty quick car to do it. As Blackcross clears the 19 for the lead. Still lanes of 2. About 5 cars on the bottom, 4 up top. Jojo a little undecisive of where he wants to go as he's at the back of this group. Towards the end of this trail. 19 car trying to follow the 24's tire tracks. He's got the 18 car behind him. The 2 JGR Toyotas trying to stick together as they go low. 51 tries to go low as well. The 18 drifts up from the bottom of the track. Blackcross stays high. Gonna try to come down to side draft the 19, an aggressive side draft at that. Now where does the 18 go? Where does the 51 go? He washes up big time. The 24 looked like he saw it coming. He minimized the amount of fall off that would have been. That could have been a whole lot worse. That's exactly what Blakey T wanted to see. He is now very much in control. Oh, there's another lane looking to be forming on the outside with the 8 and the 88, Nomad and Jojo. And looks like they're just trying to hang on. So, we got the 19 car. Oh, Blackcross! There was a big checkup on the back straightaway, and he just got nailed from behind. It looks like he's trying to force his way low. I wonder if he's trying to pit. No, he was just trying to get back in line. From the top 2 all the way to the back of this group goes the 24. He is there with the Ghost. It was all over his bumper. So now, it's Hamlin Nation and Parley side by side. For second, Parley trying to clear the 18 so he can get a draft off the 19. They can't let this 19 car get a bigger lead than he already has. There's a car on pit road. Two of them, in fact. Yeah, it's two of them. The 00 and the 1. And though an I shoot on pit road early. Blakey T all the way past the white paint. He might be signaling this time. We'll see if the 19 comes onto pit road. Who else will be joining him? Who will stay out? There's a couple of cars on the outside. The 51, the 16, they might be staying out. The 42 stays out, as does the 38. That's about half the pack. The majority of the pack stays out. And only 3-4 cars are going to be pitting this lap, including the 8 of Nomad, 18 to Hamlin Nation, the 24 Black Cross. Now, these guys will get the undercut amongst this group. Less cars means less elbow checking, which means they could send it in there a little bit deeper. Now, if all of these guys pit at the same time, there's going to be the likelihood of a much bigger checkup. Now, Parley, Elvin, Flash, Johnny Boy, all pit except for JoJo and the Ghost, who stay on track another lap. Parley's tank was at 0 that time as he brings it onto pit road with the 38, the 51, and the 16. So now, let's take a look at the 88 and the 96. JoJo Siwa and the Ghost hadn't paid a whole lot of attention to them this stage, but they looked like they were hanging back in that pack, trying to minimize the amount of throttle input, minimize the amount of fuel usage they have in their cars. Alright, looks like these four will come out together with the 38 now in charge. They're still on the track. Blakey T, Black Cross, with the advantage of pitting early, as the same with I Shoot. This pack's gonna get strung out, but how long will it take for them to regroup? How many more laps do we have? Where's the 96 and the 88? As they finally make their pit stop, the 96 passes the 88 at the line. And we'll monitor whether or not these cars got them down to about 55, 45, whatever the speed limit here is. And make sure none of them got busted by the speeding police. Elvin at the tail of this group. Those guys are still 2x2. Well, Elvin pitted with those guys. Something must have happened to have him get separated. But he's not too far off. The draft is still within reach, with help from the 00 of I Shoot, whose tires are starting to fall off. And there's the 88 and the 96, who pit way late compared to the rest of the pack. But we'll see where their advantage is on fuel, as we got about 21 to go. Parley's got about 13 in the tank, so we have one more pit stop to go. Right now, Blakey T is out in front, and with a big advantage over Black Cross, who is back up into second place after that huge mishap that got him into the wall. He was able to pit early and make up a lot of lost ground. He is in second, with a big gap over Flash and Parley, who are third and fourth. One 9mm in the 12 car. I missed it during my break, but something had happened to him that has put him well behind the 8 ball. So he is going to be in big need of a caution if he wants to get back in this race. Looking at his point situation, he comes into this race third in the standings. But we have more of our playoff contenders in this race tonight. So if they have good races, that could bump them out of the top 4. Maybe put a new face back in. Showtime Flash didn't race last week. He comes into this race about 5th or 6th in the standings. So he's got some lost ground to make up. And a good race tonight could put him back in the top 4 and have a shot at the championship at Homestead in 2 weeks. This group has caught the 24 Black Cross. With those older tires, he's just trying to hang on. Elvin has caught back up with his peers. The 18, the 42, and the 38. Flash is now in charge of this train. Now they're on a mission to reach that 19 car of Blakey T, who's out in front all by himself. Completely outmatched as he's by himself. These guys got a whole train. And they'll be working together to run him down. And they should be able to in a matter of time. We'll be watching on from the 38 car of Showtime Flash 9. Running in second. There's the 8 of Nomad at the tail of this group. Trying to hang on. He got really tight off 4. And that's not going to help him at all. Once again, I want to thank everyone for tuning tonight, and I apologize for the sudden interruption at the start of Stage 3. I had a bit of a phone call that I had to take. It's from the producers. Just letting me know how much of a terrible job I'm doing. Which, you know, whatever. I'm still getting paid, bitches. Anyway, Flash has pretty much caught the 19 car now. It's less than half a second. He is going to be within reach. And he's going to have the run of a lifetime. Where does he take it? What's the 19 going to do in response? He stays low. The 38's going to try to make it happen up top. This is for the lead at Michigan. Parley been working with that 38 car this entire stint. No reason to leave him now. Unless he sees a run down low, he does not. He's going to stay with him, as does the 51 of Elvin. But the 18's going to connect with his fellow Toyota driver down low. Try to get around the 51 car, maybe the 42 car of Parley. Flash not able to clear Blakey T this time by. This front pack remaining 2x2. Blakey T with a good run through 1 and 2. He was able to hug that bottom really well. He could have cleared the 38. He could have stayed right there. But he moved back down. That gives the 38 the top lane once again. He was able to get back to him with a big push from Parley. Now, Blakey T has help from Hamlin Nation in that Skittles car. Black Cross in the 24, back up in there. In the top 5. 88 car JoJo pitted again. He was one of the cars that pitted last among the entire pack, along with the Ghost, so these guys do have to pit one more time, so we'll see what this does for the 88 car of JoJo Siwa. Later, of course. Oh, look at this check up there. Now there's more cars running the top. Showtime Flash trying to clear the 19 car once and for all, and he will do it this time. Not quite all the way down low, but that shouldn't be an issue. Hold on, 19 car still down there. 88's into the wall, and he's in it hard. Around he goes. Sideways down the back straightaway. The 96 is now out of pit road. Whatever strategy the 88 car had in mind, completely out the window. While that was going on, the majority of the lead pack pits this time for their final pit stop of the race. Flash, Blakey T. Elvin, Hamlin Nation, Black Cross on pit road, but the 42 is still on track, along with the 16 of old Johnny Boy. They stretched it another lap. And they pit this time. Parley came in red hot. I don't know. The speed limit's 55. That was really close. I think he barely made it. We'll have to check back in on that. This pack of cars scattering, trying to get as many positions as they can off pit exit. But it'll be the 38 of Flash, who looked like he came in ahead. He will stay ahead of this group. Blakey T right behind him, 24 also in tow. They got themselves a gap from the 8-car Nomad, who is in the picture, ahead of the 18 and the 51. 2 tires is the call on the 42. Parley took 2 tires on that stop. We'll have to get an update on the 38, see what he took on his pit stop. That's a big lead this 42 car has. Flash took 4. And considering 88's back on pit road again, meanwhile, it looks like this whole pack took 4 tires. Parley with a big gamble. Will it pay off? We'll get a lap count here soon. They're coming across the line now. Parley in front. This lead pack is second on back. Flash leads them. Blakey T and Black Cross are third and fourth. That 42 trying to hang on for 9 more laps. I don't think this is the call. I think they will be there in a matter of time. And that time will be, unfortunately for Parley, before the checkered flag waves. As it's Showtime Flash. Oh, Parley really missed the bottom lane that time. This gamble might not pay off for him, as it should be 8 laps to go this time by, and they have already cut that gap in half, and they're about to take another chunk out of Parley's lead and maybe even take it away straight up this lap. He's there. Showtime Flash and company. No contest. Parley moves out of the way and will concede the spot to Flash, who washes up. Blakey T down low, Black Cross in tow. That did not go according to plan for the 38, at least for now. He's still got plenty of time left. Blakey T to the lead with Black Cross also going to drive by the 38 car for second. And now Flash back into third. Black Cross and Flash, that's a battle for a spot in the postseason championship. Blakey T in his Phantom Racing League debut is trying to shock the world and get his first win in the league, continuing the streak of non-playoff drivers winning in this league during the playoffs. Among the likes of Cyogenic and Jojo Siwa, later 2 drivers not in the championship fight, stealing wins away from drivers that oh so need it. Blakey T looking to put himself on the list of drivers who are trying to play spoiler in this championship. Black Cross and Flash trying to end the streak. Blakey running a protective line down the back straightaway, staying right in the middle. Anyone catching up? I don't think so. I think that's Hamlin Nation in fourth, but they're so far behind. 5 laps to go. Now what does Flash do? He's got 2 cars that he's got to worry about. He can't just wait till the last lap. He's got to dispose of one of them as quickly as he can so he can get to the other. Maybe the move is to let these two fight it out and maybe capitalize on a mistake. There's no way of knowing what these two are going to be able to do. 4 to go this time. Flash trying to arc the entry and cut down, trying to build up as much speed as he can. Off exit. But it just isn't enough. Especially when these top two cars are blocking the bottom off as much as they can. Blackcross, he's got his own battle. He's trying to get around the 19 car as well. But the 19 just blocked it off completely from the 24. Let's ride on board with Blackcross now. We've seen Blackcross do this before, waited to the very last second to make a move and pay off. And that was at the season opener at Daytona, where he got his first and only win of the season. He's looking for win number 2. Now he's got the 38 to worry about. They're going to hook up on the outside and gang up on the 19 up top. 19's got to stay low. Blackcross with help from Showtime Flash, looking to go to the outside down the front stretch. And they're going to clear the 19 of Blakey T. He's got no help down there. And the 24 Blackcross is going to clear him. But the 19 will stay ahead of the 38. Flash has to worry about him now and try to get around him as quickly as he can. 2 laps to go. Blackcross protecting the inside, forcing the 19 to go high. 38's going to stay low and get him for second. But he's going to pinch him. He pinches him down. The 38 stays on the gas, and that forces the 19 up high. The 24 is going to try to keep those two side by side. Last lap at Michigan, 1 to go here at Michigan. Blackcross in front. Flash finally clears the 19 of Blakey T, but he's going to wash up the racetrack. Off 2, but he keeps it composed. It's up to the 24 to hold him off. He's going to try to block the run. 38's going to go all the way to the bottom. And Blackcross saw it coming. Blakey T with a big send into 3. Forces the 38 to wash up. And for the first time since the season opener at Daytona, Blackcross is back in victory lane in the Phantom Racing League. And that'll get him that much closer to a shot at a championship. Blackcross, that is win number 2 in this league. Showtime Flash gets second. Blakey T in his first ever showing in this league had a strong run, gets a podium in 3rd. Was so close to playing spoiler and getting the win in his first race. That would have been really cool to see, but still a very impressive run for the 19. Made all the right moves, very aggressive moves, but sometimes those are the moves that you have to make, and he tried them all. Just wasn't enough for him, as he was outnumbered by the fellow full-timers that are going for a championship. Let's take a look at the rest of the finishing results here. Hamlin Nation, another top 5 for the number 18. Elvin Priest is in 5th. Johnny Boy ties his best finish of last week in 6th. 7th will go to Nomad. Parley with the 2-tire strategy not panning out. He will finish in 8th place. I Shoot in the 00 car. 9th place in his first ever showing in this league. And Ed, though, rounds out the top 10. And those are the lap times. Got a couple of them under 38 seconds. Really fast lap times. Haven't seen those in a while since we made the switch to the next gen, since those cars don't go as fast as the old cars do in the draft, unfortunately. So we will get ready for our post-race coverage tonight. Of course it would be tonight. What other frickin' night would it be? Where is everybody? Sit tight, folks. Need to do our post-race coverage and still waiting on our drivers to arrive. All by my... Oh, there's everybody. Alright. We are back for our post-race coverage of the Phantom Racing League playoffs at Michigan. I want to thank everyone that is tuned in tonight, as well as every other week they tune in. Make sure to leave a like on this stream and subscribe if you want to watch more of these races. Want to shout out our sponsors, including Everything NASCAR, who's in the chat. Firelinks Racing Network, the Super Squad, MFF Motorsports, and Chris's Auto and Towing, who have been supporting the league throughout, and we very much appreciate the support as we move on forward. Let's go ahead and start with our third place finisher, our newest member of the league, Blakey T. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I'm here, guys. What's going on?
Not much, man. First of all, welcome, and second of all, pretty good run for your first showing here. Looked like you had a pretty fast race car. Was in the mix between Black Cross and Flash. Pretty strong company to be competing against, but you held your own pretty well. It wasn't quite enough though, but still a strong effort. Just walk me through your race.
Oh, the car was great all race. Just it was fun, slipping and sliding a little bit, and just didn't have it at the end. I didn't have no help, so I kind of just had to take the third place. It was a 2v1 pretty much.
Was there anything you felt like you could have done to prevent that?
I mean, I'm not gonna ruin these guys' races. I mean, I'm just kind of just running for fun, and yeah, it would have been great to have a win, but I mean, we'll just remember next time, the next time I'm here racing, who to help out and who not, But it's like I said, it's a race. You gotta do what's best for yourself. So
There you go.
I understand.
That's very respectable, and a podium finish also very strong and definitely worth the round of applause. So Blakey T, his first race, gets a podium. Congratulations. Let's move on to our second place finisher, Showtime Flash. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I'm here, buddy.
All right. Well, second place. Looked like you and Black Cross were pretty much teaming up in that last stint to get around the 19 car. And once the 24 got ahead, that was pretty much it. Just walk me through your race and walk me through that last stint.
I mean, the draft was so crazy throughout the race. It was kind of just, it didn't really matter if you were first or eighth, as long as you were in that front pack. You had a shot to make something happen. I mean, there was no, organized teamwork between Black Cross and I. Just
happened.
Sitting in third place, I had to try to make something happen. Try to get them side by side, and try to get someone to slip up. And I didn't see the opportunity come, so I stuck behind the 24 and was trying to get to second place, and I couldn't clear the 19 in time, and I was just kind of riding around waiting for an opportunity. And if you're not in first and second, you really don't have a shot. So I had to run the inside to try to get to second, coming to the white flag. And I mean, we had a little contact. I was as low as I could possibly go. I just couldn't. It was the time of the race. I couldn't just back out and settle for third at that point. So I was trying to get a run. Black Cross did a good job blocking down the back straightaway and tried to get him to move high, and he didn't bite as much as I needed him to, and try to get the angle through 3 and 4 to try to get, at least try to see if I could maybe inch past him before the start finish line. And 19 was making a move for second place, so I didn't have the room to get down into the draft. So, but it was great racing. Black Cross did what he needed to do to win the race, and um, if I was in his position, I would have certainly tried to get the lead when he did, because everyone's expecting it on the last lap. So it's really hard to make something happen unless you get a little luck on your side. But great second place finish, and I don't know really where I'm at in points, but we'll take it to Phoenix and try to get a win there.
And that was going to be my next point, was about the points. It was a good points night for you, running up in the front, finishing second, so that's going to be good points, despite the fact that you didn't run last week. Luckily for you, you weren't the only one in that round to miss that race, so it wasn't as big of a hit.
That helps.
Almost everyone in this round showed up. I think only one driver, only one of them didn't show up, and that was Itsubro Chase, who is still not sure where he's been.
MIA. We'll call it that.
But yeah, we'll see how this race does for you in the points once I get to tallying that. And we'll head on to Phoenix. And now let's get to the man of the hour, Black Cross, back in victory lane in the Phantom Racing League. And I think that'll do it. That should put him in the championship 4, if I'm not mistaken, with that win. Congratulations. Welcome back to victory lane. How does it feel?
Feels good, and thank you. Yeah, the race was pretty good for my standard. I'd say Michigan is one of my better tracks. Like Flash said, doesn't matter if you were first. Like the top 10 was all together. The draft really pulled you in. Anyone can have a run on the outside. And I was at the end. I thought like Flash was gonna push the 19, passing me on the outside. So I blocked the bottom as best as I could, and it worked out in 3 and 4. I thought last second I saw the 19 on my back bumper, and I thought, man, I'm gonna get shot up in turn 3 and 4, and he's gonna take it. But luckily, I was able to hold my ground and stay on the bottom and cruise to the finish line.
There you go. And I mean, that's pretty much the name of the game with these cars and that draft setting at Michigan. The runs are absolutely crazy, and they're not as crazy as they are in the next gen. I think the next gen runs are even crazier, but with the way this pack is, and I'm glad the racing was as, for lack of a better term, racy as it was, because I've done a 50%er with the next gens, and that was nothing more than just a fuel saving race. So I'm glad this race was an actual race and not just follow the leader the whole time. So definitely made for an exciting show. It seemed like the plan was just to have a run whenever you could. It was not really much thinking into like what the plan is, because I mean 19 could have went high, you could have went down low. It's just you got to take the runs whenever you can, and you were able to do that. And luckily Flash was able to go with you, which definitely helped. So
yeah, I didn't want to wait till the last lap. I went with 3 to go.
Yeah. Well, yeah, back in victory lane. That's your second win in the league this season, so congratulations on that. And I think that'll put you in the champ. Do we? 'Cause I don't know how we do the points. So the win is we doing the win and in thing for? All right, so Black Cross will be going for a championship at Homestead 2 weeks from now. He's our first lock-in for the Final Four. So congratulations on that as well.
Thank you. Hopefully I can go and get it.
There you go. Alright, so that is our race winner Black Cross, and there's definitely no other people in this party, so I'm gonna call it here, ladies and gentlemen. If you wanna what?
Yeah,
Yes, we are. Are we?
we have 3 more interviews.
We. All right. Who am I interviewing? Also, hi, Hamlin Nation. All right. Where'd you finish? You finished fourth, right?
4th. Yeah.
All right, fourth. Hell yeah, top 5 for the 18
Thank
car
you,
of
thank
Hamlin
you.
Nation. My apologies, folks. This is a
Yeah.
big deal.
Yeah.
Top 5. I think this is your 3rd or 4th top 5 of the season.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. I don't have the Skittles car here. Damn it! I don't have any of the DLCs.
Yeah,
I have no
yeah,
reason to get them now. All
it's-
right.
It's great to be back. This is my interview now. I'm gonna
Yes.
interview you, Timmy.
You have the. Oh, you're interviewing me now.
Yeah.
All
So, Timmy, what's it like being a commentator? Give me some tips, because I will be commentating the Pro-Am starting next season. The Pro-Am is going to bring a lot of excitement, a lot of new talent to the Phantom universe. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have young talent, old talent, everyone trying to get their shot at the Pro League. And that's why I have that question for you. What are some things that make a good commentator?
That is a good question, and I've always wondered that myself. I always feel like I'm just winging it most of the time.
No.
It really helps to just kind of let the racing do most of the talking. Obviously, you want to commentate on what's going on, but when you try to like force it out, it can get a little muff, and that's something I still do, and I sound like I'm having a stroke half the time. So I always try to remind myself, just take a step back, just analyze what's going on, let the racing do the talking, and just pick it up from there. Because after all, the racers are the stars. They're the ones on camera. They're the ones putting on the show.
Yes. Well, thank you for the question. Don't forget to tune into the Phantom Pro-Am next season.
Yes, sir. That'll be on Saturdays. Next season. Date to be determined. So that is Hamlin Nation. Also, let's talk about your race since you're here.
Yeah, of
Fourth
course.
place. Anything you want to say?
No, I mean, it was a good run. On the first lap of the race, I made it through turn 1 and 2, and then going into 3 and 4, my wheel disconnected. And I went far into the wall. And so, I started the stage 1 down by a lap, almost 2 laps down. Got back into it. Got my stuff together. Got easily up to the top 5. The draft was the king all race, so there wasn't much you could do. Blake, amazing job by him. He was breaking the draft left and right.
Balake.
Why are you correcting me? Okay, that's what I thought.
A-Rod.
Anyway. Well, anyway, that was pretty much
You
right.
want to go to war, Balake?
Hey, my actual name is Jose.
Congrats to Black Cross. I don't really have any other congratulations to anyone else. Thank you for your time.
I appreciate it. Thank you for giving me the time to give you the time.
You're welcome.
Alright, so that is our 4th place finisher, MFF Hamlin Nation of MFF Motorsports. Alright, who's next? No one. Alright, and that does it. Sure, is that it? Alrighty then. So if we're for sure on that, might as well go ahead and wrap it up now. And once again, of course, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to this race tonight, as well as been tuning in for every other race from the start of the season to all the way to the championship. And as always, Elvin.
That's my cue. Alright, slam that damn subscribe button, baby, because we hit 120. That's a hell of a goal. I would have never expected that to happen this season, at least.
That's a big boy number.
Gotta thank all our sponsors. Timmy, you can list them.
I already did. You want me to list them again?
did?
Because I can.
Yeah, list them again. Give them
Alright,
more.
list them again. Shout out to our sponsors, Everything NASCAR, who has been in the chat earlier in the race today. So shout out to him. Firelinks Racing Network and the Super Squad, as well as MFF Motorsports and Chris's Auto and Towing LLC.
Another thing is, next season, Blakey T will be one of our full-time drivers on the Pro Series. So, you thought he was good now, wait till you see him all next season. It's gonna
There
be
you go.
crazy.
There you go. I'm
And
very excited for that.
ring that damn bell.
Ring the bell.
Ring, ding,
Subscribe.
ding, 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 ding.
Man, shut your
For
bubble
whom
gum.
the
Dum
bell
dum.
tolls.
Oh my god.
Alright, I'm done.
He is done.
Well,
That's
Well,
what
I'm
they
not.
all-
No, I'm
All right,
kidding.
he's
We're all
not.
good.
Okay. All right.
Send it off.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, next week around the same time, 9:05 Eastern Time, we will be at Phoenix International Raceway
Skittles.
for the elimination race to decide who will take those last 3 spots and have a shot at the
Shout out
championship. In Homestead, Black Cross has already claimed 1. There's 3 more up for grabs. And if you want to see who will be able to get those spots, you know what to do.
Oh, I'm not on mute.
So, yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Not yet, not yet, not yet. You're still going.
Oh my
Ain't
god.
done yet. I'm dragging this out. I can drag this out even longer if you want. What?
Shout out Skittles.
Shout out to Skittles. Oh yeah. Also shout out to our boy Ed. MFF Ed though, been a massive contributor to this league. So I want to thank him for everything he's done for us. And from here on out as well. So we're giving away shout outs like Oprah. You get one. Everyone gets one. But yeah. Actually, might as well get the word out now. I was gonna save this until the end of the season, but I might as well get it out now. So we already know that Hamlin Nation will be the announcer for the Pro-Am Series on Saturdays next season.
Yeah.
But there's also an opening for announcing in the Pro Series next season because I've decided that even though this is my first commentating gig on this game, it will be my last, at least full-time wise. I'm stepping away from commentating after the season wraps up.
Aw,
So the
man.
spot, yeah, I mean it is what it is. Life catches up so fast. I got other shit I want to do. So I've had a lot of fun though. I've had a lot of fun commentating this league, and it's been very fun. I'm glad a lot of people enjoy it. I get a lot of messages on PlayStation telling me that they enjoy my commentary, and I very much enjoy it. I'm not going anywhere though. I'm still going to be involved in the league. I'm still running the website. Kind of stuck with it, so I'm still going to be running that, tallying points. Maybe I'll be back next season, not as a commentator, but maybe as a driver. I mean, this is what I pretty much do
Wow.
on a driving game is drive. I mean, the reason I got into commentating because I was retired. I retired from league racing, and now I'm in 3 different leagues. So saying retired don't mean shit. I'm like Brett Favre. So, who knows? Maybe,
Oh, shit, my mic smells like vagina.
maybe I'll run a race or 2. I'm doing that like colleague racing thing. They just like spread the silly season rumors out. So I'm doing that right now, so everyone can speculate if they so desire. All right, I'm dragging this out way too long. We got to end it now. All right, everyone say their goodbyes. Goodbye. We're done.
Shout out.
Shout out Skittles. Goodbye.